Hello, I'm Ken Farr. Grab a tea or coffee and join me now for this week's Baton Rouge Press Club Highlights Report.
First of all, you might have noticed that my office quit issuing press releases. And I wanted to tell you why and tell you how you can get that same information. And the reason why is I've been sued several times over the last couple of years. I have 2 lawsuits going right now for defamation of character. And what the court has said is that I have, as legislative auditor, I have legislative immunity for my reports. But they don't consider the press releases to be within that report. Now, we argued that the legislative auditor reports its findings in many, many different ways, and that we do it through, as I'm doing today, through speeches. We do it through talking before the legislature. We do it through the written report, and we do it through press releases. But the court didn't go with that, and so the very same thing that you used to see as a press release is now like page 1 of every report. So if you just get the report, open it up, look at the first page, or click down and look at the first page, it's basically the same thing that we used to have as a press release, but now it's inside the report. That work? Now, let me tell you about those 2 defamation cases that have been going on. One of them is David Lacerte. You might remember Mr. Lacerte. He was the head of Veterans Affairs, and we issued a report on that department, and he sued me personally and sued the office for defamation of character. And just recently, that case was the judge awarded in favor of the legislative auditor. I assume we'll be having appeals in the future. The second case was an organization called HEAL out of New Orleans, Health Education Authority of Louisiana, and the individual, Jacob Johnson, has also sued for defamation of character. And here's the point I'd like to make about all of that. My office, and I think you know this, my office we have a tremendous system of making sure our reports are accurate. And we have review upon review upon review. We have great quality control, and I can pretty much guarantee you reports do not go out with any glaring errors. I'm not going to tell you there's not a misspelling or something like that, but there's, when it comes to the facts of what we're saying, it's the facts, and so we'll stand behind that. The second thing I wanted to tell you about real quickly is the legislative auditor's budget. Now, in 2015, my general fund funding was about $10 million. It got reduced back then to $8 million level, and it's still at the $8 million level, even though costs have gone up and the workload has increased. And I want to just maybe mention real quickly, because this is what I told the legislature this year, and they did not increase my general fund funding as I had asked. I asked for $2 additional million to get me back to the 2015 level. And the reason is this, that I use that to do the actuarial work that we're all very familiar with. Every retirement bill has to have an actuarial note. My office employs the actuaries that do that work. All the local government work, and I know some of you have asked me today about some of the work we've done in local government, all that local government work is paid for with general fund funding. There's no one to bill for that work. Investigations, my fraud investigations, it's not likely that an entity is going to pay me to go and investigate them, right? Especially when it comes to fraud. And so those kind of things is all done with general fund funding. And as that funding has decreased and as all the costs go up and the demands go up, it's crowding it out. And so I'm just going to be able to do less of it in the future. So hopefully next year we can get that straight. Third thing I want to talk to you about, I know I was asked previously to speak about this, is House Bill 72. House Bill 72 was Representative Tony Bacala filed the bill this year. Medicaid program is over 1/3 of our revenue of our states, 41% of our expenditures of our state. It is a huge program. It is, since 2013, since the Affordable Care Act, the primary determinant of someone going into Medicaid for a big population of Medicaid is income. Not only income, but it is modified adjusted gross income, which is a tax number. And so it has been my contention that in order to properly audit this number, I need tax data to do so.
Join us every Tuesday for the Baton Rouge Press Club Highlights Report, and I will see you next time right here on Newsnet, Baton Rouge.